on a very important topic, which is primarily and most importantly curated for India, that is exploring the impact of Cashless Everywhere initiative for health insurance in India. And for that, I would like to welcome our guest, Shekhar Sampath Kumar, who is the Director of Health Insurance at General Insurance Council of India. Sampath's appointment at GIC aims to implement comprehensive changes within the sector, ultimately leading to the establishment of a 100% cashless payment system. Sampath, prior to joining GIC, held the position of insurance ombudsman in Chennai for nearly 2 years, and his experience also includes serving as a general manager responsible for the health insurance portfolio at New India Assurance, the largest non-life general insurer in India. So, Sampath, a warm welcome to the show.
Thank you, Surya. Thank you.
So, Sampath, to quickly jump on to our discussion for the day, how does the Cashless Everywhere initiative by the General Insurance Council of India aims to address the current challenges faced by policyholders and when seeking treatments in hospital outside their insurance network in particular?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Surya. The first point I want to tell the audience is about cashless facility per se. Health insurance is mostly a hospitalization policy that is provided by the general insurers and the health insurers of the country.
Right.
It covers a hospitalization expense. There are two ways of approaching this issue. One is if I get sick and I need to get admitted in a hospital, I go to the hospital and tell them that I have an insurance. And if that hospital is a networked hospital, then there is a facility called cashless. Now, I may indulge the audience in explaining these two concepts about a network hospital and a cashless facility. A network hospital is a network of hospitals with whom the particular insurance company has entered into a tie-up and has entered into an agreement, right?
Right.
And what is cashless? If I go to the hospital, which is in the network of my insurance company, I need to get admitted. Of course, the insurance company would examine whether the claim is admissible, and if the claim is admissible, the insurance company authorizes the cashless treatment, which means the insurance company effectively undertakes to pay on my behalf for the hospital expenses that are going to be incurred during the treatment. Now, the point is, I need not pay cash upfront and then seek reimbursement from the insurance company. It is more or less similar to a cashless arrangement that you find in automobile insurance, where with the garage, right, or with the dealer, the insurance companies have an arrangement. A similar arrangement is here. The cashless facility is available to hospitals which are in the network of the insurance company. Now, from 21st January 2024, the industry, the health insurance and the non-life insurance players who health, who issue health insurance indemnity policies have taken a big step of extending cashless to any hospital. I repeat, to any hospital, provided even if it is not in the network of the insurance company, cashless facility would be provided. Now, there are a few caveats. I would list them one by one. Number one, the claim should be basically admissible. For any cashless or reimbursement, the claim has to be admissible in terms of the coverage being effective on the date, in terms of the treatment being covered under the policy, and so on. Number two, even if the hospital is outside, is not in the network of the insurance company, still we are going to provide cashless. Fine. But that hospital, whatever hospital, has to satisfy the requirements of a hospital defined under the policy. Most of the policies have the standard definition for hospital, which means that the hospital should have minimum 10 beds if the population of the town is less than a million, and more minimum 15 beds if it is more than a million. This is one of the conditions. There are other conditions like uh, having an operation theater if surgery is performed, having an authorized surgeon, having records of the patients, and so on and so forth. These are minimum stipulations, and most of the hospitals would comply with that. Right. So now, basically, what I mentioned is I am repeating it. The cashless facility is available not only to a hospital which is in the network of the insurance company, but also to a hospital which is not in the network of the insurance company, provided the hospital satisfies the definition made in the policy for a hospital and provided the claim is admissible. Now, the next important prerequisite is if it is an elective surgery. That means a surgery which is not related to an emergency treatment. Then, for any elective procedure, the customer should inform the insurance company at least 48 hours before the admission. If it is an emergency, within 48 hours after admission, the information has to go. So the process flow is like this. I want to get admitted for an elective procedure. Let's say I am undergoing a cataract operation, which is a planned surgery, an elective procedure, right? 48 hours before admission, I inform my insurance company. The insurance company would, of course, tell me a pre authorization form which has to be filled by the hospital and the customer. Once we fill it, then, of course, the insurance company will examine whether the hospital satisfies the requirements of the definition of the hospital and whether the claim is admissible. And if the claim is admissible, the pre-authorization is issued and the insurance company undertakes to make the payment to the hospital after receipt of certain documents like treatment records and discharge summary. This is how it works. I hope I have clarified the entire position, Surya.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So I have just one quick follow-up question on that.
Yeah,
It sounds, of course, quite smooth, and if it, really could make up the Indian market, it'll be one of the best things that the, insurance policyholders can imagine. But having said that, we can also imagine the kind of complexities that might go behind the screen to make this, initiative really happen at the ground, right? So, what are the
right.
challenges, and how do you see this really taking off?
Right. I fully agree with you. I mean, in practice, there would be challenges, and as we move along, we have to resolve them. Number one is it might take some time for hospitals which are in remote locations to get into the process. But we as an industry have are taking lot of initiatives to make the journey as simple and as uncomplicated as possible. And once a hospital which is not in the network applies for cashless, they should also be signing an MOU, a one-page agreement with the insurance company. That because the regulatory requirement is that there has to be an agreement for providing cashless, and nonetheless, between the two entities, the hospital and the insurance company, when a cashless transaction is performed, there has to be an agreement on what needs to be there, what are the duties and responsibilities of both the parties. Therefore, it's a single page agreement. Initially, the hospitals for the first time might have some difficulty in getting into the process, but the next time it could be easier. The other challenge, Surya, is the lack of awareness of the facility. See, I will tell you today, 63% of the customers are availing cashless facility. The flip side is that 37% of the customers undergo the ordeal or hassle of making the payment upfront and then seeking reimbursement from the insurance company, right?
Right.
Under a cashless arrangement, it could have been smooth. They could have, as long all these things could have been sorted out before the admission, so that they need not pay the money upfront. Still, do you think 37% of the customers choose to undergo the delay? I don't think so. Possibly they are not aware of the facility A,
Right.
and
Yeah.
possibly B, because the hospital is not in the network.
No, I
Now
think
we
I
have
think you're
solved the
absolutely
issue
right.
B.
The awareness makes a lot of difference, which many of the consumers are really not aware of what's really available to them.
That's where precisely, Surya, these kind of podcasts and other communication to the public would help
Right.
in
Yeah.
learning, understanding, and that these facilities are available, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, right, right, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is, how does the cashless everywhere facility plan to elevate the financial stress on policyholders and streamline the entire claims process?
Yes. See, I will tell you, as more and this 63%, as the numbers grow,
Yeah.
I don't think it could always reach 100% anytime too soon. It's a difficult journey, but yes, there would be a significant increase in the percentage of people who avail cashless. But what would happen? First thing, as I said, financial distress. First financial distress is I don't need to pay money upfront, that especially for a procedure which could cost, let us talk about a bypass surgery, right?
Yeah.
uh, but it could cost me something anywhere between 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs, and I may not have the money, and it's a stress to me and to my family. Already I am under stress, right? I have to undergo a bypass surgery. That itself is a stress to me, and now I would have to mobilize resources for the surgery. Why should that additional stress be upon me when I am insured? So with a cashless, I am assured that yes, the hospital payment is taken care of to the extent admitted under the policy. There is also clarity on what I have to pay, because even if there is a cashless facility, there could be some items that are not admissible under the policy, in which case the customer has to bear a certain portion. There could be clarity on this, which is available during the treatment, and the payment, the need for upfront payment from my end is eliminated. Therefore, it's definitely a big advantage to the customer, Surya.
Right. No, absolutely. And of course, claims being, one of the toughest part of the entire value chain, and if a concept and an initiative like this can really streamline, I think it'll be, what do you say, like a hidden blessing for the policyholders, right? And as you rightly
Yeah.
mentioned, the financial stress, you don't have to pay anything upfront. I think that is one of the biggest thing, especially in something like, a surgery or something of that sort uh, comes in place.
Yeah.
So, my last question to you, sir, is how does the cashless everywhere initiative contribute to the enhancing trust in the system and creating a more seamless experience for the policyholder? And this is especially so important is insurance, if you look at, especially on the health and life side, the trust factor is really not that stable or that high, if I really have to rate it, when it comes to people buying insurance as a shield for any future risk.
Surya, I don't know why there is a talk of a mistrust or a lack of trust, because I will explain to you. If you look at the insurance industry in general and the health insurance industry in particular, there has been lot of health insurance payments happening, thousands of crores. Even during COVID times, we have seen, even when the claims experience was quite high, still the
Yeah.
insurance companies honored the claim. See, what happens is, you look at certain pre-existing conditions. There, you have to look at it both ways, right? Insurance is for undertaking and uncertainty, right? But if some people who already have an existing illness join the pool, and if there is a claim for an existing illness during the waiting period, such claims would have to be necessarily denied. But from the customer's point of view, perhaps I don't know, due to lack of clarity or due to whatever reason, there could be some discontent in that their claim has been denied. But if you look at it as a system, it honors what it committed to. The insurance company makes a promise to honor claims subject to certain conditions. And most of the time, these commitments are honored. But yet, I would agree that there could be some perception that the insurance companies have not honored their commitment, and it could be because they are not admissible under the policy, or in certain rare circumstances, there could have been some claims which were not which are payable and yet not paid. The point
Right.
I am making is cashless everywhere and other such initiatives. You should not look at cashless everywhere alone in isolation. If you
Right.
look at the entire evolution of health insurance over a period of time, the regulator has taken commendable measures to remove these kind of communication gaps, or some gaps in perception, clarifications. I mean, what is a pre-existing condition? A very simple definition has been given. Lot of definitions have been standardized. Many of the exclusions have been removed to improve the trust factor. The regulator as well as the industry are working a lot, and it continues. We would continue. Cashless everywhere is additional step in terms of making it more and more hassle free, more and more easy for the customer. So definitely, I'm sure that as we go along, the trust factor would improve, and there would indeed be a seamless experience in terms of accessing healthcare through the insurance mode, Surya.
Yeah, absolutely. Last, out of curiosity, my last point to you is, what would be your vision to streamline the health insurance for India in next 3 years?
As an industry, we are always working to enrich the customer experience, to make it more affordable, to make it more accessible. In
Right.
terms of accessibility, this cashless everywhere would definitely help. In terms of affordability, also, lot of initiatives would continue to be taken, right? And we would be working with the customers, with the healthcare providers, and with the guidance of the insurance regulator. So it's a journey which would continue to happen, Surya, and we would find how to improve. See, because today market penetration is one of the important goals.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
There is an objective which has been laid down by the regulator, a commendable objective of insurance for all by 2047. Today, if you take health insurance, only around 55 crore people, 550 million have access to health insurance. So majority do not have health insurance. Why not? Why can't it be made more available to more and more people? That market penetration should be happening every year, and health insurance. In fact, the IRDA has formed a committee to make the insurance policy itself more user friendly, right? I mean, a lot of initiatives are there by the regulator, by the council, by the insurance companies towards making the customer's
Yeah.
journey as simple as possible.
So, where do you see technology playing a role in these kind of initiatives?
An important role, right? Like payment. In fact, the National Health Authority is standardizing a lot of the interface, right? The interface between the hospitals and the insurance company. Lot of data could flow through the National Health Authority
Right.
stream. A lot of processes, good health technology is going to be a very big player in making all these things happen, Surya.
Absolutely. No, sir, I think it's a fantastic initiative, of course, and I really hope it scales very quickly. And challenges, of course, would come everywhere. That's the norm, but we would definitely overcome it together with a lot of passion and perseverance. And thank you very
Yeah.
much for your thoughts today. A fantastic discussion and a true delight to have you as our guest.
Thank you, Surya. Thank you. All the very best.
And lastly, to wrap this up, thank you for listening to the Insurtech Story podcast and see you at our next episode. Take care and stay safe. Goodbye for now.